Hi everyone, um, it's Kerry Ann Sullivan here once again. Today I want to talk to you about what I have learnt from the 40 years journey in art and painting. Number one, painting is about learning journey, just like life is. And sometimes you make good habits and sometimes you make not so good habits. And how you fix those not so good habits is how you learn. You learn by your mistakes, you don't learn by your successes, which may sound funny, but your mistakes stay with you a lot longer, especially if you solve the problem. And that's one of the things I was going to say to you. The other thing is that in your painting, if you're not going forward in your learning process, then your paintings are going to become stale and static. Many artists paint the same painting over and over again, or similar paintings over and over again, in the same medium, in the same style, and they might change a tree or the direction of the way the road runs or the hills in the background, but basically it's the same methodology over and over again. Now, after 40 years of doing this, if you haven't got a end product of professional excellence, there's something wrong. Whereas if you're trying new things all the time, you'll keep that spirit, you'll keep that enthusiasm, the vibe in your paintings, but your paintings will not sit in that solid time learned program that you've set yourself up for. In my little studio, I do lots of mediums. I have an area for acrylics. Behind me is my area for oils. Behind the camera is a little area where I do my sculpture. And I find moving through these mediums, plus a lot of the other mediums, like drawing, pencil work, pastel work, collages, and even rock painting. It broadens your sensibilities. It loosens you up. It gives you another aspect on how the medium is going to work in certain situations, and changing just your structure that you're putting it on also, changes what's going to happen, especially with watercolour and acrylics. Some people use the same watercolour paper that they've used all their lives. They use the same canvas that they use all their lives. And so they know well ahead of time how that's going to react. Some of the excitement, especially in the new acrylics, in the flow acrylics, is not knowing how the paint is going to react, and sometimes coming with a very, very nice end product out of it. And sometimes, I warn you now, you can end up with one heck of a mess. So you scrub it off and you start again, and you learn from that. And this is what it's all about. In all the 40 years I've been painting, I have never ever been bored with my painting. I always look forward to getting into the studio. I look forward to seeing the end result of an idea I had, or starting a whole new venture in a different medium, and feeling out how that medium is going to work well for me. Or in some cases, you don't work as well. I have my favourites. My favourite is oil, because I'm one of these contrary people who continually changes her mind. And in doing that, the oil caters for that, whereas some of the other mediums where you have to be, like watercolour, you do it wrong, there's no way back. So you have to be very sure about what you're doing. So I understand that. In addition to doing my own paintings and all the digital work I do for myself. And I think this is another aspect too. A lot of people go and they just paint. They get somebody else to frame it, somebody else to stretch the canvas or whatever it is. And even they get people to help them with their colour mixing. Me, I do the whole lot myself. And I'm very proud of that because it's taken a lot of effort over the years. But when you get a Kerry Ann, it is a Kerry Ann from the beginning to the end. So stretching the canvas, I usually do myself. Sometimes these days I get a bit lazy and have a commercial canvas. But years ago, I always stretched my own canvases. I do my own framing. I was making my own frames for many, many years when I had the equipment. I don't have that now, so I will get the frames made and I will put them in myself and put all the structure together myself. I also do all the computer work, and with the computer work, a whole lot of digital imaging, putting paintings into in situ situations. And I've learned to do that myself. I've also learned to create my own websites. I've been making my own website since 1996, so I still can't do it very well. Technology sometimes gets the better of us as we get older, but that's nothing to do with you being not up to speed. It just simply sometimes is you have to admit that you do need some help sometimes along the way. Probably the computing is what drives me most crackers. Where my sanctuary is my studio. This is where I come when I'm sick or when I've had an injury, and I can come into the studio and I can concentrate and enjoy the experience, so much so that I don't have to use painkillers. So that's not bad for when you're getting older. So anybody that can do that, I think they're onto a good thing. My paintings are varied, and I make no excuse for that. I love trying new things. Just behind me, I am trialing some large, what do you call them, palette knife work. It comes from an idea that I saw, and the whole thing is done with a palette knife, which I haven't done much of. So that's another thing that's exciting. I tell you what, you don't have to spend half the night washing brushes, which is good. I know when I was doing portrait work for the Archibald, I'd end up with 20 or 30 brushes to wash at the end of my painting session. And when that's 10:30, 11, 12 o'clock at night, after a day's work, it's a big job. So palette knives do have something going for them. In my next video, I would like to share with you some of the lessons I've learnt, some of the secrets that other people don't tell you about. The art world is a very closeted, in some ways, very closeted world. People don't share some of their secrets. A lot of people do, and I mean, I take my hat off to them because we all find our own funny way of getting around things, you know. I've been known to sand a painting back when I'm really disappointed with it and try and get off some of the paint. I'll talk about that next week. Thank you for your time. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and stay tuned. Things are on the move again. Always on the move. Thank you all. Have a safe time and stay happy.